Okay, it's me again, part two. Christmas and the wrist. When I got back from Thanksgiving, my wrist had been hurting for about a month. And I really thought it was arthritis. I just didn't know, but it was just continuing to hurt. So I went to the orthopedic doctor and they x-rayed it and they told me that it was a ulna negative wrist. Now you have two bones in your wrist or your arm, and one of mine was shorter than the other. I mean, they're supposed to be even, and mine were like this. They said, it could have happened any time. My theory is it may have even happened years ago, and after losing 100 pounds, it just became more pronounced because I had nothing to cushion it. But at any rate, they wanted to go a conservative route, and, they put me in, this one's nasty because it's got dog hair and everything. But anyway, they put me, in a little brace thing, and I wore it, well, anyway, I wore it, and they said, give it about 2 weeks and come back, and if it's not any better. Well, not any better was not even the answer. I mean, it just continued to get worse, and it just hurt. I mean, pretty good pain, but it hurt most of the time. So I called before Christmas. I knew that probably was not a good time, and they said, well, the doctor won't be in again until January the 5th. I said, make me an appointment. So, I'm sorry, this thing keeps sliding. So I made an appointment, which was this last Monday. But on Friday the 2nd, of course, it had been raining for days, and it was pouring down rain, and I was at work, and I went outside to take out the trash, and there's like a little slope down the back of the driveway where, well, at any rate, I fell. And my foot doubled up under me. And long story short, there's so much flu here. I did not want to go to the ER with my foot and risk getting the flu there. And besides, I knew what they would do unless it was just a total emergency, type whatever. They were going to x-ray it and wrap it and say, go see your orthopedic doctor on Monday. Well, I already had the appointment on Monday, so I said, I'll just see if I can make it through the weekend. So I took pain pills, which I already had, and just stayed off my foot all weekend. Went to the doctor on Monday. They x-rayed it, said, there may be a small fracture here. So, it was hurting, but not like it had been. But my wrist was, still hurting. So they put me in support hose, wrapped it in an ace bandage, and put it in a little shoe, not in a little boot. She thought the boot would be too big for me and throw my back out. So she put me in the shoe. So all week long I've been wearing that. But, they were still concerned about my wrist. So, but because of the fall and the small fracture there, they said, and because you've had RNY gastric bypass, calcium is a big deal, and you get you lose bone mass, whatever. So they wanted me to have a bone density scan and to have an arthrogram/MRI. Well, the bone density scan I had before, no big deal. The results of that were good. That I don't have osteoporosis. I do in one hip. There's what they call osteopenia, but that was not a big deal. Just said continue to take the calcium, which I take 1,500 grams of calcium a day. Okay, the arthrogram. I didn't really know what it entailed, but I soon found out. So I went in on Wednesday for that. Long story short, what they do is they inject a needle in your joint. Well, I'm going to use this one. In your joint, but around here, and inject dye in there, and then do the MRI so they have the contrast and they can see. They were looking for a tear and arthritis besides the ulna negative wrist. Well, the doctor that did it on Wednesday, he just kept apologizing. He said, I cannot get in there. I cannot get in there. I don't know what the deal is, but I cannot get in there. He said, if you don't mind coming back tomorrow my partner's here, and he's much better at, problematic anatomy. He said, your wrist is weird. I'm going, okay, if anything's going to be weird, it's going to be me. But they went ahead and did the MRI just in case some got in there. It did not. But anyway, so Thursday I go back, and they give you lidocaine and numb the whole area. I didn't feel anything when it was going on. When that one was over, it was a little sore, but not too bad. So I go back. I know what's going to happen this time. The other doctor's there. He said, I wanted to really fuss at Dr. Chitty. He said, because I couldn't believe he couldn't get in there. He said, okay, this is after he dug in my wrist for an hour. He said, I have never seen a wrist like yours. He said, it's so tight in there. One, you've lost ligament. You've lost cartilage there. So it's bone on bone. And you have arthritis. And there's also degeneration, plus the ulna negative wrist. He said, I've done everything I know to do. Normally they do it under x-ray. They did it under x-ray, and then they even tried it under CT. And he still could not get in the joint. Well, after digging for an hour, I was in. Well, not so much at that point in time, but when all the lidocaine wore off, then it was like any other surgery or incision that you've got. It was very painful. So I had kind of planned to just kind of take it easy after work on Friday and rest yesterday and today. Got to work Friday. The lady I take care of was coughing her head off. I had to take her to the doctor, so I had to work until 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. As soon as I got home, buddy, I took pain meds and I was out. Then when I went in yesterday, she was just, the antibiotic they had given her just kicked her butt, and she was feeling awful. So I went back. Normally I don't work much on the weekend. I just go and give them their meds. Well, I went back like 4 times to check on her, and I got them food and stuff. So yesterday was not a rest day, and today's been a little bit more of a rest day. Okay, so that is my wrist. I've got all these bandages on the places they stuck it in. I look like a pincushion. I go back to my orthopedic doctor tomorrow. The radiologist that did the sticks said, I'm going to call Dr. Doolin, and he will be the one to make a decision as to what you do next. He said, I do have a little bit of information to give him just based on what I've found. He said, the only other option I know of is to totally sedate you, like with Demerol and Versed, like you'd do for an endoscopy or a colonoscopy. And so I'm out, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't feel anything. But that's up to Dr. Doolin. So I see him tomorrow to decide what to do. Of course, I'm panicking this whole time. I'm going, what if there's something major wrong with my wrist, I still don't know, and I've tried not to think about that. I've just tried to concentrate on feeling better. Okay. That's enough. Christmas was good. I worked Christmas. I cooked, traditional Christmas dinner, turkey and dressing and all that kind of stuff for my couple. And I worked Christmas. And I took off a little bit, last weekend. Part of their children was here, and they did a delayed Christmas. So I had some time off last weekend. So that was a good thing since my foot was a problem last weekend. Hopefully we're going to start with more care, and I've got somebody coming in to help me on the weekends so I can get some rest on the weekends. Because basically I'm on call, whenever they need me. I work, during the day and cook and give them meds, and then on the weekend I'm just supposed to give them meds. But they need more care, and so I've got somebody coming in for the weekends, and that will free me up some. Okay, so that's, I'm back to 9 minutes on this one. I think I've given y'all way too much information, but that's where I've been. Other than that, things are good. Like I said, Lovey's fine, Zoe's fine, the girls are fine since they had their little vacation at the dog hotel while I was at the beach. The beach was marvelous. I had a great time. I'm the Roll Tide girl. We beat Auburn. We failed miserably in the first game of the new playoff system, but that's okay. It really is okay. Roll Tide anyway. So I'm into basketball now. That's it, folks. Hope y'all are doing well. If you have any questions, put them down here, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.